Subscribe and click the bell icon for the latest updates and notifications from the Indian Express.
India played New Zealand in the first semi-final. India finished at number 1 in the standings and New Zealand were number 4. The match is at Old Trafford. Going into the game, New Zealand have lost their last 3 games against England, Australia and Pakistan. So they wouldn't be in the best of shape actually going into the semi-final. How do you see that, Sandip?
That's actually a good thing for New Zealand because they come not with any baggage of expectations. I mean, they are best when they don't have any pressure attached to them. You saw them in the last World Cup, like semi-finals. It was a bit of a scare. Then they reached final and then they blinked. So, I mean, this even 92 when you look at it, like they were the favourites back home, and then Martin Grove was doing well. So, and then there is the semi-finals, and then they blinked. So the situation is actually ideal for New Zealand. There's no pressure whatsoever on them. If they lose, okay, they had a good tournament.
They are sort of not expected to win against
India. Yeah, that team. Underdog tag actually suits them really well. I mean, New Zealand is a team that has historically relished under such circumstances.
But a fact that, or stat which goes in India's favour, other than the fact that man for man we are a much stronger team and we've lost just one game, is the fact that New Zealand have more often than not failed to cross the semi-final hurdle except in the 2015 edition. So how big a barrier is that for the Kiwis?
I don't know, like in professional sport, I don't know how much people will cling on to the psychological scars. But yeah, last 6-7 players of the last World Cup are actually playing this. I think like people like Trent Ball, Tim Southee, Kane Williamson, this should ideally impel them. Like they should, they know they've been to final, so that experience should actually stand them in good stead.
And a bit about the toss and the weather. Let's start off with the toss. Like I think towards the later end of this tournament, we have seen teams struggling to chase. Yeah. And so, do you think that the toss is the crucial factor here? And if India wins the toss or if New Zealand wins the toss, the obvious choice is batting. Is that safe to say that?
Yeah, either team will look to bat. Like for India, I think even if they bat second, if they are asked to bat second, it's fine because they have the ammo, they have the kind of people who can orchestrate a chase. But New Zealand's best chance is to bat first, put a big score, put India under pressure. So maybe 300, 320. I think for New Zealand, from New Zealand perspective, I think winning the toss is crucial.
Especially with the kind of bowling attack India has.
Yeah, India has.
We can restrict teams once we put up a big score, and the scoreboard pressure also comes in.
Yeah, it's always crucial for a semi-final kind of a match.
And the weather is also supposed to have light showers tomorrow, and it could be cloudy. So in a scenario where, say, of course we would like to have a full game, but if it turns into a Duckworth-Lewis scenario and where there's just, say, it becomes a short chase, then do you think teams like New Zealand have a better chance? The fact that they are.
If it's a Duckworth-Lewis scenario, I think New Zealand do have a great chance because 20 overs, 150, 160, they can pull it off. Like people like Ross Taylor, Granholm, actually they can pull it off. Maybe India shouldn't themselves find it difficult chasing that.
And the Indian team also, if we can just go back to what we have discussed in the past also. Yeah. Of course, Rohit has made all the runs and of course Virat has ably supported him and Rahul scored 100 in the previous game. But still the middle order seems to be a bit soft and a little vulnerable. Do you think this will work since now Mayank Agarwal has flown in? He has played a test in Australia and done well. So do you think we could open with Mayank Agarwal, the Indian team, and drop Rahul to number 4? Is that
could be a slightly defensive tactic if at all India employs that. I think two openers, Rahul scored 100 last match also. Why do you need to dismantle them? If they give you a good start.
Then how do you solve the middle order crisis?
Maybe depending on the situation. Like if you are we've 2 down for 240 overs, why not Rishabh Pant?
Yeah, but
in a tricky scenario, maybe you can actually ask MS Dhoni to bat at number 4 or maybe Dinesh Karthik. If it's 15 overs something, I think Dinesh Karthik is pretty good at handling seam and pace in such conditions and MS Dhoni, obviously, if it's 20 overs, 25 overs, MS Dhoni can also be at number 4. But we can basically keep things flexible.
So, but you are still going with Rahul and Rohit opening the innings.
Because opening, if they click, there's nothing like it. 150, 160 runs, and they look fairly comfortable. Apart from the first match where they actually had a few issues running between the wickets, they've looked fairly sorted.
Also on the bowling side, if you look, I think we played only one main spinner between Kuldeep and Chahal. I'm talking about Chahal against Bangladesh and Kuldeep against Sri Lanka. So how do you see India's? What do you think India's spin tactics will be, given the fact that Jadeja is also in the mix?
Yeah, I think Jadeja, it's not a bad ploy actually to play one wrist spinner and Jadeja, because Jadeja, like last game also, his first 8 overs conceded some 21-22 runs, because like he gives that middle order chalk, which is very important. Like, and
Keeps the game in control.
Games in the control, and like when you especially India has set a good score and let if New Zealand is chasing, Jadeja is ideal because the pitch will slow down. There will be a little bit of a grip on the pitch, and Jadeja can exploit it.
So, looking at tomorrow's game, we can conclude that India favourites man for man, and the fact that we have topped the table and we are the number one team and the kind of players we have.
Absolutely. India's at overwhelming favourites.